Today's question: how would you start to introduce design thinking as a leadership principle where it has only been used in product design? And also, what tips do you have for a large corporation? Today's question came from a design thinking practitioner out of Uruguay. But that's one thing I love about LinkedIn and about the internet is that you can make connections across the globe and really bring together people for mutual learning and mutual interests and just so many great things. But anyway, last year as I was doing the Leading by Design meetups where I tackled real-time problems of 2021 and showed them how leaders could put to work the principles of design thinking for the challenges they were facing, I attracted a lot of people that weren't necessarily leaders, but they were design thinking practitioners, and like our listener today and the person asking this question. And one of the things that kept coming up over and over again, just like it's come up now already in these segments, is how do I get my leaders to do this? Especially design thinking practitioners, they're accustomed to using this for product design. But for some reason, their leaders do not see how useful it can be for employee experience and making changes throughout the organization, innovating things internally, not just external innovations that affect the client. And so I wanted to address this question because even though this leader in Uruguay does not have any direct reports, she does want to take what she's doing and the benefits of that and have it affect the organization as a whole at a larger level. Because yes, product innovation obviously helps our clients and it affects the bottom line, but as a whole within the organization, it does not help it to operate more smoothly. It doesn't help it to improve or innovate the processes. It doesn't really do a whole lot for employee experience. There's so much that happens within the organization beyond the delivery of products that design thinking can have a positive effect on. So this is a great question that I wanted to answer. And really, it just depends. I don't know where in the organization this particular design thinking practitioner is, but there are a number of ways. It's kind of a gross cliche to think about, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. And so I guess you just have to look at it as to what's going to work for you. Obviously, if we can go to the individuals that have the most influence within the organization, whether that be someone in the C-suite, or the HR realm, or even the leading and training and development realm, that would be the biggest bang for your buck. But it may be that the only person you have really any influence or connection with is your direct report, the person that you directly report to. And so I would say start with one of those, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And one thing about design thinking is we understand that design thinking really is all about the needs. So I want you to think about this person that you're going to target is what their needs are, whether it is your direct report leader, the leader you report to, or whether it is the HR director or the person in charge of training and development, or even the CEO. What are their needs? Because when we approach any type of project, any type of innovation, innovation basically just means improvement, right? Something we want to improve. We start with the user's needs. So consider this target your user. What are their needs? And so as you begin to identify what their needs are, then you can begin to influence them and as a means of helping them meet their own needs, offer them information about design thinking. And I'll share a couple of things in the comments on this video as well. But for instance, what the person in charge of training and development, obviously they have a budget, right? Obviously they have limited time that they get to spend with their trainees, but the more they can develop them, the more they can train them, the better off they are. One of the things that I shared in a webinar last year was design thinking is the only training that your leaders need for the year. And the reason why that is because when you look at the 6 skills or the vision plus the 5 steps of the process, each of those has tons of skills in them. So when you learn empathy, the empathy phase, which is the first phase of design thinking, you're not just teaching them how to, ask good questions to the users. They're learning listening skills, or learning communication skills, or learning empathy skills. They're learning the synthesizing of information and how to connect the dots. There are so many skills within that, and it is that way for every step of the way. From ideation, it's not just about brainstorming. You're learning tons of things, and there's a link to there. It's a long infographic of all the skills that each of the steps teach us. Same thing with the HR person. What are their needs? Oftentimes HR people are in charge of change management, and nothing is worse for an HR manager that's in charge with change management than to have their change management initiatives go off the rails. I wrote a post about how design thinking is like open source software for change management, meaning that you get people enthused and excited about the change, you help get them involved in the co-creation of the change, and it really makes an impact. So all that to say, which I'll share those links in the video, that find the user's need. So whether that is the leader that you report to directly, or it's your HR person or C-suite executive, find their needs, try to understand their needs, and then begin to look to resources that will help them meet that needs. Point them in the direction of design thinking. I, of course, have a number of those. You can ask me, and I can help you dig up even more. But then begin to just drip them, kind of like a marketing drip. If you would sign up for a marketing information to learn about a particular person or product, or you would sign up for a class, they don't just send you the encyclopedia. They begin to drip you the information that you wanted to hear or see. So once you've identified their needs, then begin to drip them the information that's going to show them that design thinking is a great and an excellent tool for solving the needs or the problems that they have to solve. So thank you so much for this question. I look forward to your next Ask Me Anything question. So if you haven't already, be sure and like and subscribe this video, and send me a direct message on LinkedIn or Twitter, or email Karen@KarenZiegler.com, and we will take care of your question pronto. Thanks, and have a great day.